My name is Casey Lau. You may know me from Rise, which we used to have in this same place here in Hong Kong. Thank you for that one cheer. But mostly I do Web Summit, which is a big tech conference around the world. I'm actually going to Qatar right after this for our conference there. But I'm very excited to be supporting Hong Kong. I also am the co-host of the GM Show. It's a weekly series what I do with Meme Land, talking to founders in Web3 space. So of course they thought of me to host this panel with 3 builders here in Hong Kong. How many people are from Hong Kong in the audience? Okay, a few people, great. How many people not from Hong Kong in the audience? Okay, 2. We're going to convince you guys to move to Hong Kong at the end of this 30-minute panel. So let's start to the gentleman on my left. What's your name and what does your company do?
So my name is Jakob, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Clearpool Finance.
Okay.
We are a marketplace for private credit, and we're doing this on-chain. So we are a DeFi protocol.
Great.
One of the, I guess, leading DeFi protocols out of Hong Kong.
Out of Hong Kong, great. And where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Italy.
Italy.
But I'm in Hong Kong since 9 years already.
Okay.
I'm permanent resident.
Nice.
I consider myself a Hong Konger.
Okay.
I came here 9 years ago. I thought I'd come for 6 months or something.
Yeah.
And here we go. 9 years later, I'm still here.
What's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite restaurant?
That's a good question. Let me think. I have a lot of favorite restaurants. I think I went to the, oh my God, what's it called? Chili Fagara.
Okay.
Chili Fagara restaurant in Central.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite restaurants.
Okay, great. Sorry, I just threw you on the spot like that wasn't a pre-planned restaurant question. And next to us, Jacky. What is your name? What do you do?
I'm Jacky. I'm a local born Hong Konger. So I live in Hong Kong, I study in Hong Kong, so I can be an OG in Hong Kong as well. Yeah, and my company is called Pulsar. It's a global market making firm. So we trade in all the biggest exchange and we provide liquidities to the people so that they can trade with a much more low slippage. Yeah, that's it. And I'm very excited being here in the panel.
Jacky, there's 2 people here that are not from Hong Kong. Where do you think they should go while they're in Hong Kong this week?
This week, I think, of course, going to Consensus first.
Okay, well, what food or what local Hong Kong thing they should do?
What food? If you really want to try some local food, then I will recommend going to Namji.
Namji,
Namji, very tasty.
Okay, good. All right, and Sarah, tell everybody what your name is, what your company does.
Hi everyone, I'm co-founder of Aegis Custody as well as Aegis Clearing Company, DACC, digital asset clearing company. Sarah and we do regulated custodians in the United States, in Hong Kong and Singapore, but specifically in Hong Kong, digital asset clearing company aims to be like DTCC, where they are public-private partnerships as well as participants from different financial institutions.
Great. And where are you from originally?
I was born in Taiwan.
Taiwan, okay. And how long have you been in Hong Kong?
So I got into Hong Kong through the talent program. Okay. So I got a Hong Kong ID card.
That's great. You need that. That's really good.
Yes.
And so do you have a favorite place you like to go to in Hong Kong? I mean, Taiwan has some great food, but is there a Hong Kong thing that you love?
Yeah, I normally go to Caprice.
Caprice, okay.
Oh.
Right. Nice. All right, that's fine. Okay, so this panel is about shining a spotlight on these builders in Hong Kong and learning a little bit about how they started, why they're here, and we'll compare it to other regions in Asia. But I want to first of all start with Jacky because he's the OG. You started first. So your company is actually 10 years old. So you were before ICOs even.
Before ICO stuff.
Before that stuff, right? So tell us a little bit about why did you start your business here in Hong Kong? What did it look like in 2015 compared to today?
Okay, yeah, sure, definitely. So, my company is a global market making firm. So we have presence in Hong Kong, have lots of back office and middle office here, helping us to make us grow. I think in 10 years before, right, when you talk about cryptocurrency or BTC, people will think that it's a scam. It's all about money laundering.
They still do. Hasn't changed.
Yeah, but at that time it's even more worse.
More worse, okay.
Yeah, money laundering, like buying drugs online,
Okay, yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
when I was like telling my friends and family, say, hey, I'm trying to have a business in cryptocurrency. Oh, are you doing something illegal?
Yeah.
Oh, please don't start something
Right.
like that. Yeah, and even it's even more hard when you talk to business partners or banks. Because like if you want to be a local business, like you must have a bank account, right?
Right.
And it's 10 years before, it's very, very hard to tell them that what kind of business are you really at.
Yeah.
So I think now it's much better because like much more people are accepting about cryptocurrencies and all those stuff. But still, this is one of the challenging point when we are talking about like having a business in Hong Kong.
Yeah, right. Are you going to bring your family to consensus to take a look at this giant crowd here? It looks legitimate, right?
Yeah, of course. It's definitely legitimate now. I mean, nowadays, no one will say that Bitcoin is a scam or anything anymore.
Right. Great. Okay, Sarah, same question to you. Why did you started from Taiwan? Why did you come to Hong Kong and start building your business out of here?
Yeah, so we actually started in the States. So
Okay.
Even though I was born in Taiwan, I've been living in the States for over a decade. Well, I think the difference between now and maybe over 6.5 years ago when we started is because we're dealing with many financial institutions now.
Yeah.
So like onboarding previously, like we onboarded like Binance US in the US. So the onboarding process of that versus now onboarding a bank is quite different.
Yeah.
Like the questionnaires that just get it added on. Recently, it's just unbelievable. You'll be addressing a lot of issues that you never imagined that you have to. So I think that's the challenge, is like even getting, or even like doing clients or work, there's just a lot more requirements in addition to the regulatory, as well as in addition to compliance.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Jacob, I know I've been to Italy and I've seen their tech ecosystem, so I know why you came to Hong Kong. Just kidding. Oh no, that's not true. I'm not kidding. That's true. So tell me a little bit about, so you weren't into crypto when you landed in Hong Kong, but you eventually got into it. Why did you decide to make your business here in Hong Kong in the Web3 industry?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I came 9 years ago.
Yep.
I was one of the earlier guys for Foodpanda for Hong Kong and
Yep.
Asia, so quite a change. Later into fintech, and I think the main reason of making Hong Kong the hub was just that I was here, and I think the special thing about Hong Kong is extremely crypto. The population is very crypto passionate,
Yep.
savvy, or passionate, right? Everyone whenever there's like a cycle, whether there's NFTs, the whole city basically speaks crypto, right? Everywhere you go, you see buses, the whole MTRs are plastered in NFT ads, etc., etc. So it was during that time when you just get sucked up into this crypto world. You start looking at it. And then I think, Hong Kong was definitely one of the best places. So still one of the best places, but it was the place for crypto.
Yep.
It was easy to get a little bit of a network, meet important people. That's how I met my co-founder,
Yep.
who was already in crypto for a longer period of time. And, it just naturally progressed
Nice.
to have Hong Kong as my base.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a conscious decision. It was just being here and having been influenced by Hong Kong.
Have you been back to Italy recently?
Yeah, and being back, it's great because sometimes when the market's really bad, I go back to Italy. Nobody knows about Bitcoin, about all of those things. It's great. Right? FTX collapsed here. Everyone is depressed. I go back. People are like,
What are you talking about?
"What are you talking about? What?"
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get when I go to Europe, exactly. Okay, so I deal mostly these days with Web2 startups, right? And with Rise Web Summit, we do a lot of Web2 stuff. And Hong Kong was a thriving place with many unicorns and stuff like that. Since the pandemic, kind of gone downhill. So a lot of startups are leaving because there's no money, there's no talent, and there's no market here. But you guys are all building Web3 here. So this is my question to you. We have all of these three things here, right? We have the talent, we have the market, we have capital. What are your thoughts on what's missing from Hong Kong? Sarah, let's start with you.
Well, I think in the institutional Web3 space, even though we have interacted over 10 banks in Hong Kong, the adoption process takes time. I think especially, Hong Kong, you have the Western banks, you have also Chinese related bank. So like even though Hong Kong is pushing for Web3 for financial institutions, a lot of the Chinese banks, they were still uncertain about whether the Beijing government will support.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's where I think it needs. I'm actually not sure whether it needs more clarity from Hong Kong or needs more clarity from Beijing. But that's one of the reasons that some of the banks really wanted to, but they are afraid of making a big stride.
One of the big things the government says here, one country, two systems. That's a big thing. Seems like sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's also bad, especially for business, right? How about you, Jacky? What about how have you seen Hong Kong in this idea?
I think when we are looking at like the crypto industry in Hong Kong, right? I think like in the old days, like Hong Kong was really a great place for crypto business. Like some of the big names are originally from Hong Kong, like Bitfinex, the DeFi issuers, and then BitMax, and then even FTX, right?
Yeah.
Although it's gone, but it's originated from Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's still in our hearts. Don't worry. I still have a tote bag.
Oh, you still have your tote bag from that? I got one as well. Yeah, but anyway, I think during the COVID was the place where the system or the government changed about how they want to do a business and how they try to shut down. So that makes, like as you said, lots of like Web 2.0 and other builders like freeing away from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But after now the COVID is gone, right? I think all the major like infrastructure or things are still in Hong Kong. So I think if give them some more back time, I think Hong Kong still be a good place for like founders or builders to build their own stuff.
Is there anything missing though? Do you think?
I think
You've seen the most. 10 years. That's a long time.
yeah. I think one of the major things that can catch up is about the regulator stuff. Because like now, if you look at US after Trump coming in as the president, right? Everything goes so fast. Like even has its own Trump coin, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's so advocate on those cryptocurrency. But in Hong Kong, it's like the world is like moving 10 steps, but Hong Kong is just like moving one step.
Yeah.
It's just now talking about OTC, talking about stable coins, but everything is talking about other things already.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Okay, cool. Jacob, how about you? So many great things in Hong Kong. What's something missing maybe that you think should be?
Yeah, so I think the great things in Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong has a lot of very smart traders. I guess people like Jacky and his team. So a lot of the big trading firms, originate from Hong Kong, and there's really a lot of smaller trading firms, all over. Many of them are, still market leading. I think on the other side, like, on the sort of like builder side, application builder side, Hong Kong is probably not that strong.
Okay.
I think even traditionally Hong Kong is not really the place for startups. There are a few, but like I would say it's a little bit less developed than some other places in the world, like the Bay Area. Okay, Hong Kong is a financial city, it's a market city, so you have a lot of strong people there.
Yeah.
Maybe on the talent side, I think Hong Kong is not really known to be a place for developers, right? So you probably have exactly a lot of good sort of like trading people, for like finance guys, and less builders, less people on the development side.
How do you think Hong Kong can encourage that more?
Yeah, so I think right now, even as government initiatives go, right? I think there's a lot of like very good initiatives on the sort of like institutional side.
Yeah.
I think for and myself, we are more like a crypto native DeFi player. I think maybe that is one of the areas that is slightly less supported.
Yeah.
And I think Hong Kong can and should make a push in supporting these initiatives a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I want to ask now. I know, Sarah, we talked before. Your team is very remote. Everybody's working in different places. I live in Hong Kong, and also I know a lot of Web 2 companies, Web 2 ecosystems really require capital and an ecosystem. How do you feel about these things here in Hong Kong, as opposed to maybe Taiwan? The U.S., like Silicon Valley, that's like a special tier everybody wants to be a part of, right? But how do you see that these two things work together in Hong Kong? Do you feel it that these two things are strong here, could be stronger, or pretty strong?
You mean capital and talent, or?
Yeah, and ecosystem. Like this event here, this is the first consensus we've had here, but last year and the year before we've had a few different kind of conferences, but this is quite a large-scale international event, right? The organizers just told me 75% of the people are from overseas, so it's only a quarter of the people here are from Hong Kong or from this specific region. So everybody wants to know, is Hong Kong have the capital for startup investment and also talent and also the ecosystem like this continuously?
I do think Hong Kong has exceptional talents, especially for Web3 and finance. And then there are so many people that coming from TradFi that have already worked in digital assets for many years. I don't think Hong Kong is a place for capital, especially for startups. I think that's probably more for Singapore among Asian countries. Ecosystem, I would say probably yes. I mean, there's still quite a lot of companies that from overseas as well as from Hong Kong perspective. Yeah, and then I think overall, yes, compared to different regions, whether that's US, Hong Kong, Singapore, where we all have license, Hong Kong does require the most heavy local infrastructure building. So definitely, I think the team was setting up, the infrastructure we're setting up in Hong Kong is the most heaviest among all the other regions. So definitely you're gonna see bigger teams, more operations, more infrastructure, which are also required by the regulations.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Jacky, you've never raised any capital, but you hire people over the last 10 years. Do you find the talent good? And also, do you participate in the ecosystem? Do you host events? You go to events? You know, just that kind of vibe so everybody knows what's happening in Hong Kong.
I think for like in Hong Kong, if you want to hire good developers especially on the finance side, it's much easier because like I said, Hong Kong was a financial center, right? So there's lots of talent from the traditional banks, investment banks. So that is not really the hardest part. But if you want to hire someone from DeFi, so I think this is something Hong Kong people is not originated. So this is the hardest part. If you really want to find this kind of person, you maybe need to find in another place like Taiwan or even in the Europe place. So it's one part. The second question is
like the ecosystem.
Oh, the ecosystem. To be fair, I think the ecosystem is in Hong Kong is more about finance as well. So all the big names is all about exchanges. Like stable coins, those kind of stuff, but not like really builders to build the infrastructure of the blockchain.
So you think there's a lot of people talking on the top line of crypto, but not a lot of builders meeting up and sharing ideas. Like the Bay Area does that a lot, right? There's a lot of developers, engineers talking about stuff. Okay, I agree with you on that one. How about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I do think there's definitely like a good sort of, there is a good ecosystem as well on the ground. I think Hong Kong, one of its unique advantages is just, I would say it has less to do with, regulation, all those things. I think just as a city, Hong Kong is a very good place to meet and have drinks. Right? You just walk around, bump into people. Everyone kind of like lives in the same like 3 districts. Everyone has their office in the same, I mean, you can walk like 10 minutes that way, 10 minutes that way, and nearly everyone is there, right? So you just, it's very easy to meet up. It's very easy to have drinks. It's very easy to go to different offices. I was just telling to Jacky that I never made it to his office, but they're known to have nice drinks there as well. Right? So definitely, I think that's happening.
We're going there afterwards.
Nice views. So that's definitely happening, and I think one of Hong Kong's unique strength is that sort of proximity and that sort of like vibe that I think you have the same in traditional finance, and that does foster a good ecosystem. But it definitely weakened. It definitely got less over the last couple of years. Just because there has been a little bit of a net outflow of companies from Hong Kong to Singapore to Dubai, and a lot of the large companies as well. A lot of the exchanges, things seem to change. Everyone's set up, and then now it seems like everyone is slowly like exiting again.
Okay, that's a great segue to my next question. So I've seen the same thing. Last couple of years since the pandemic's over, a lot of people left Hong Kong, go to Singapore, go to Dubai, right? We all know this is the normal story because Hong Kong's restrictions were so tight, right? It was very difficult to do business, so a lot of people left. But now I see people are slowly coming back, but it's been almost 5 years. If they had kids, the kids are like probably in high school now. So it's hard to just move people around. So I feel like when I came to Hong Kong, I was in my early 20s. So I came here, I believe the next generation are coming in, are in their early 20s. I don't know if this is being streamed, but if there's people outside of Asia looking at coming to Asia, my next question will now be the big question everybody wants to know, Hong Kong versus Singapore, right? This is the two things. So I don't know how many people are in Singapore. I've been to Singapore. When I go to Singapore, it's like Asia light, right? You go there, they got Orange Julius, They got all the famous American brands, maybe more famous brands than we have. We got the Japanese brands here. We got the Korean brands here, right? We got the mainland brands here. So I see that, right? And so I want to know from you guys, starting with you, Sarah, what is the differences that you see between Hong Kong and Singapore for doing a startup specifically?
Well, I was just your old friend from Invest Hong Kong. We were actually invited by Invest Hong Kong. They were really good at building relationships way back in the US, I think over 5 years ago.
Definitely.
So we're really appreciating them making that effort. And actually, when we first landed, they were also really helpful to help us get the word out. And even I think for our journey to get one activities, so we offer digital asset clearing services for Type 1 broker-dealers uplifted for VA activities. It's an over 1 year process, including communicating with the regulator, and all the way we have to communicating with the government as well. And then Invest Hong Kong has been extremely supportive. I haven't seen her for over a year, but yeah, I think that's the difference. I think we were really we're really lucky to get the support from the government to land in Hong Kong compared to Singapore, even though we're also regulated in Singapore.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, if everybody wants to know, the Invest HK booth is right there. You can go there, and they'll show you more of how to get into Hong Kong. Jacky, have you been to Singapore and looked at the market there? I'm sure you have, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've been in Singapore to look around how the atmosphere, how the business is going. I do see that people in Singapore is more injected, and then they are more crypto friendly at the point. So I think if we're compared to Hong Kong and Singapore, I think it's the old question about how the regulators look at cryptocurrency and stuff. I think for Singapore, it must be more willing to accept them. And if we're talking about Singapore, of course, we talked about Dubai, right? Dubai is giving 0% tax for crypto company, right?
Right.
So this is, if you're gonna start a new company, a new crypto company, and you don't have a place chosen in mind already, then the first thing you always think is always Dubai, but it's 0% tax. And it's, a very big advantage on that.
But does Dubai have an ecosystem as good as Singapore and Hong Kong? That's I think is very important.
I think currently, if I compare now, I think Hong Kong and Singapore must be better. But you see that things are growing very fast in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah.
The biggest exchange are all setting the headquarters there. Yeah. So you will see that things will migrate quickly if Hong Kong is not doing anything to stop it.
So the money part is important, right? Because I feel like zero tax will not always be there. One day it will show up again, in some other countries that have already popped back in. So people have to decide, do they really get value out of that country than they would if they just stayed in a country that had tax but has an ecosystem and everything already there, right? Okay, how about you, Jacob? You've been to Singapore, probably have a lot of friends in Singapore, but you stayed in Hong Kong. What do you see as the two pros and cons of the two?
Yeah, I mean, I love Singapore. I love Singaporean food. Just a little bit more of a Hong Kong guy, and I've been here for longer. So that's the main reason.
I love that. That's so funny.
I guess that's the main reason. I think in general, definitely we can't close our eyes, and we have to admit that, Singapore now has the bigger conferences.
Yeah.
They have, a lot of the big VCs, they might have even moved their headquarters to Singapore, or they decide to set up in Singapore.
We lost a few big crypto companies to Singapore from Hong Kong.
Yes, we definitely did. There was, obviously also crypto uncertainty, a few years back, etc. That also caused a few people to, move to Singapore. So overall,